would like to expand on this weird yet fascinating behavior that humans exhibit concerning modern audiovisual pop culture. At the foundation of its emergence, art used to imitate life. This meant that artists would usually draw inspiration from real life to then go ahead and implement it in their art. What we are seeing now is that these roles have been reversed. In 2021, life now imitates art. We have forgotten what real life used to be like. Our current concepts of relationships, love, success, friendships, and literally anything that involves emotions and other people has all been based on what we hear and see in pop culture. As a result of this, people's hopes and expectations of what things should be like are being crushed on a daily basis. No wonder why we have so many young, confused people. Being in a relationship is nothing like what we see on Netflix, where somehow all people are either attractive or special in some way. Even the obviously average guy in a movie is still the most remarkable average guy that you've ever seen in your entire life. I vividly remember the first time when I started noticing something weird in the behavior of different people that I was interacting with. Every now and then, they would say something that would cause me to do a mental double take. It would feel as if I was having some type of deja vu. The only difference was that the flashback would not stem from a dream. The flashback would actually remind me of something that I had heard or seen before in a reality show or TV series. It's kind of hard not to notice when the girl that you're talking to starts reiterating Kim Kardashian or the latest Beyonce single. Young people emulate the things that they consume through their screens. People want to make drama and have fights with their partners because that's all they see and hear. In many cases with teenagers, the actual point of starting a new relationship is to have the opportunity to end a relationship and go through a hard breakup for all of your peers on social media to witness. Now, what makes people want to do something so stupid? Probably because half of the songs on the radio right now are about breaking up. Remember, there is nothing worse than feeling left out. More than half of the captions that we see daily on Instagram are passive-aggressive quotes from song lyrics alluding to a past breakup or the fact that somebody in the past didn't recognize your value when they had you and how you're so much better off without them since then. So incredibly much better that you still feel the need to address it on social media months later. If you're not having fights with your partner, then you're doing something wrong. Stable is so boring. Think about it for a second. When is the last time that you heard a song on the radio about a healthy and balanced relationship? It is either crush or crash. No in between. In the last 15 years, everything has been pumped up to the max. There is no more middle ground with anything. Now let's look at this phenomenon in the context of sexual relationships. People need to have insane, over-the-top sex as if we're all porn stars. If you're not having sex 5 days a week, you should run to the doctor and ask for some sex drive pills, because something is wrong with you. In the event of actually having a good doctor with decent ethics, there is no need to fear. Amazon will deliver your semi-legal supplements on your doorstep within 3 business days, straight out of Thailand. The origin of this relatively recent mindset is quite simple to pinpoint, and you might have guessed it by now. I'm talking about the rise of the internet and subsequently free porn. Free porn on the internet is by far the least talked about and most underrated threat to humanity to date. We are under direct attack, and we're not even willing to raise the topic because to this very day, there is nothing more embarrassing to talk about than sitting behind your computer with your hand in your pants. There is nothing considered more pervy and pathetic than masturbating to porn in your desk chair with the looming smell of tissues and dried up coffee mugs in the background. Unless you're a super attractive woman, of course. In that case, it's hot. The exact same way that many people consider lesbian porn cool while labeling gay porn as gross. Talk about a double standard. Nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing in this world, is for free. And the concept of free porn is a perfect example of that. They have successfully led you to believe that you're smart and cunning because you've never signed up to a porn site. They have never gotten a single monetary gain out of you. They won't get a dime out of me, suckers. Now you're laughing because they're suckers and you're like some really cool internet hacker because your cousin showed you how to use torrents. And even if the whole torrent thing was too complicated after all, you could just make your way over to Pornhub and watch the woman of your dreams getting drilled from both sides by her stepsons in 4K. Hey, don't blame me. In case you haven't been on a porn site in a while, allow me to inform you that incest is totally back in 2021. Don't be so close-minded, dude. Try something new for a change. The architects behind the model of the free porn industry are the type of evil geniuses that deserve a seat at the table of the worst people in human history. In an absolutely brilliant and devious way, they have preyed on the weakness of your ego, making you believe that it's no big deal as long as you're not paying for it. They have successfully convinced you that you are way smarter than the rest of the world and that somehow you win every time you get to enjoy their content without paying for it. Plot twist. It's a trap. You think you're winning, but actually, you're being used. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Millions of men are paying a price far steeper than any monetary amount. They're paying in the form of erectile dysfunctions, complete loss of libido, severe mental problems, and the inability to maintain a healthy sexual relationship with their partners. Many of these men are not even capable of not automatically scanning every woman that they encounter for their tits and ass. It happens entirely subconsciously and often even unwillingly. The porn industry has built and programmed an army of sex-obsessed terminators who roam the planet, grading every woman on a scale of fuckability from 1 to 10. Their eyes have been replaced by 2 burning red dots that can spot a yoga pants from half a mile away. Because that's what happens when you go to sleep every night with images of women being drilled into the next fucking dimension. It dehumanizes and reduces women to walking pleasure hole carriers. In the mind of these terminators, mouths are no longer meant for talking and legs are no longer meant for walking. They exist in a constant reality of perverted thoughts, and they can't even attend their uncle's funeral without wondering what a threesome with their cousin and aunts would be like. Now, one might feel that I'm exaggerating the issue at hand here, because after all, it will surely all figure itself out once said porn addicts run into a partner and are finally able to get their fix from an actual fellow human being instead of a computer or a smartphone. Now, this is exactly where the biggest issue lies. Imagine living like a stoner for 5 years. Nothing too crazy. You just like to smoke a joint every evening at 8 p.m. A couple of hours before going to bed, get you right in the mood before you doze off. You have a job, you have a social life, you're a fully functioning member of society. The only downside is that it's still illegal and that you have to deal with a shady dealer every other week. Then one day you get the news that the government will legalize and regulate weed and will even be opening up weed dispensaries where you can buy your dried flowers at a cheaper price than the illegal circuit. Thursday of opening, you make your way over to the dispensary and you make your purchase. You go straight home to enjoy your medical grade legal weed. You roll up, spark it, take a good toke, inhale, only to find out that you have been smoking crack for the past 5 years. And you really don't enjoy the weed high at all. This is not what you came for. This is not what you wanted. This is not what it's supposed to feel like. You're already texting your dealer before the joint stops burning. And this, my friends, is exactly what happens when a man who has been watching porn for a long time finds himself having real sex again. It's almost impossible to compare, and it's not even close to being the same thing. A hand and a vagina do not feel the same. Porn doesn't come with a sense of smell. A computer does not require satisfaction, effort, or even attention. For many of these men, the whole entire idea of sex is much more appealing than the actual act. They have become completely comfortable with the easiness of the process that is watching internet porn. You open your browser, you go to your regular website where the recommended for you tab is already waiting with a bunch of new suggestions, and you do the deed. 9.5 minutes later, you clean up and you go on with your day. Easy, smooth, efficient, at your disposal at all times. Basically everything that real sex is not. And that's exactly why having real sex doesn't really make a difference as it pertains to porn addiction. They are two entirely different things. Alright guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you felt my message, if you can relate, leave a comment, share this video, hit the thumbs up at least. And in case you forgot, I am still offering my coaching services. You can email me at lorenz.reese@gmail.com if you want to work with me and turn your life around, man. As always, this video was based on a chapter of my book, Rotten Lemons. By the time of you watching this video, it should be out already, so make your way over to the description box where you can find a link to purchase my book, Rotten Lemons. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with more philosophy, more Viking content. Checking out.
Hi, my name's Spencer. I'm a filmmaker from Chicago. I'm a person who struggled with anxiety, OCD, and mild depression for most of my life. I've seen many therapists and tried many different medications. Recently, I was kind of looking for something more, to get more motivated, to get more things done, and I had just come across Lorenz's YouTube channel. I just started binge watching, and I became so inspired about his attitude, the way he goes about things, and he just seems so genuine, so intelligent, and I just decided to reach out because I thought if he could make it through everything that he had made it through and be succeeding so well now, that he must know something. And I can safely say he does. He's so much different than any other therapist I had seen before. I felt like more of a connection. I felt that everything that he was talking about with me was from experience that he had and not just something that he learned in a book. And I think that's the biggest difference that I could honestly say. So he's helped me so much with motivation, organizing my life, more confidence, and the biggest thing is to live in the moment. And I really appreciate what I have and who I'm with and what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And that was something I've never done before. So once again, I would like to highly recommend Lorenz, aka Wounded Viking. Please hit him up for life coaching.